In this particular example, you're given some sample data. So we have 7 different samples of mercury levels for sushi, and we're trying to figure out a 90% confidence interval so we can estimate for mu, which is the mean amount of mercury in all of these tuna sushis. So from the sample data, go ahead and put those 7 values into either your graphing calculator as a list, or you can use StatCrunch for this. But once you put it into a list in your graphing calculator, then you can use the function one variable stats to get some sample statistics for this sample. So using one variable stats, our sample size here is 7 with a sample mean of 0.7229, okay, and a sample standard deviation of 0.398, okay? So let me actually round this to 0.723. Okay, once you have your sample data, look at the problem and ask yourself if you know the population standard deviation. So right now we don't know what mu is, that's what we're trying to estimate for, but we also don't know the population standard deviation. So we don't know sigma. This is an unknown value. Anytime that sigma is unknown, you're going to approximate or you're going to build your confidence interval by using the t distribution, okay? Which means that when you build your confidence interval, you're going to use the function, and again, this is if you're using your calculator, you're going to use the function t interval instead of z interval. And if you're using formulas, then you have to use the formula where the critical value that you find in the formula is based off of the t distribution, not the normal distribution. So with that said, again, I'm going to use the t interval function on my calculator. Your calculator is going to ask you to put in your sample size, your sample mean, and your sample standard deviation. Once you put all that information in using the t-interval function, it will build the 90% confidence interval for you. So that confidence interval is 0.43069 to 1.0153. So this means that we are 90% confident that the mean amount of mercury for all tuna sushi is between, so I'll use this notation to write the confidence interval. So mu is greater than 0.43069 ppms, all right, but less than 1.0153 ppms. So I hope that helps. Just keep in mind that it's really important for you to know if you're going to be using the t distribution or the normal distribution. And you always use the t distribution when you don't know the population standard deviation sigma.